Here we are at the end of May. That means that our April stats are available, so it is market update time. So let's get into the numbers for Polk County, Florida. This again is for May 2024, and the stats are through the end of April 2024. So closed sales, we had 1,390 closed sales. That's compared to 1,368 a year ago, an increase of 1.6%. So for the first time in several months, actually saw a little bit of an increase in closed sales year over year. That's kind of good news for the market overall. Cash sales as a percentage of closed sales, 22.4% of all sales were cash sales compared to 24.6% a year ago, a decrease of 8.9%. Median sales price, $324,745 compared to $320,000 a year ago, an increase of 1.5%. So despite the fact that the market kind of slowed overall, prices did not actually drop. Average sales price, $344,812 compared to $331,113, an increase of 4.1%, which is actually a relatively healthy increase compared to a year ago. Median percent of original list price, sellers are receiving 97.1% of list price compared to 97% a year ago, an increase of 0.1%, so nothing really major difference there. Median time to contract, 36 days, that's compared to 32 days a year ago, an increase of 12.5%. That is a little faster than last month, however. Median time to sale, 80 days to actually close, compared to 76 days a year ago, an increase of 5.3%. And that difference is really related to taking a little longer to go under contract compared to a year ago. New pending sales, 1,539, and that's compared to 1,452 a year ago, an increase of 6%. New listings, 2,006 new listings compared to 1,581 a year ago, an increase of 26.9%. So if you're a home buyer, that's great news. If you're a home seller, we're starting to get a little closer to a balanced market and maybe even into a buyer's market, but we're not there yet. But now might be the time to list before we do switch into a buyer's market. Pending inventory, 2,161 compared to 2,163, a decrease of 0.1%, so that actually remained pretty much the same. Active inventory, 5,110 homes are active in the MLS currently in Polk County, compared to 3,081 a year ago, an increase of 65.9%. And then month supply of inventory, 4.1 month supply of inventory compared to 2.4 month supply of inventory a year ago, an increase of 70.8%. So you can see with those new listings going way up and the active inventory being way up, that has impacted our month supply of inventory. And 6 months is our balanced market, and we're getting very, very close to a balanced market. And that is partly why homes are taking longer to sell. It's simply that buyers have more options out there, so they'll come look at the home, but they'll still look at others because they know they don't have to make a decision right away. There's a lot of inventory available for them. Tune in and we'll talk a little bit more about what all this means moving forward. So as we look at what all these numbers mean, we are heading into the spring and summer. We're into for Florida, basically we're in the summer buying season. School's ended, so you can expect activity to pick up. That being said, we're seeing a lot more listings, a lot of new listings coming on the market. And so our overall inventory is up. As I said in the earlier part of the video, for Polk County, we're a little more than 4 months of inventory. For Winter Haven, we're actually a little over 5 months of inventory, and 6 is kind of where we're going to be balanced. I wouldn't expect to see a significant decrease in home prices because I do think what's going to happen as we get further along this year, I think the Federal Reserve eventually will begin to lower interest rates, which should have a good impact on mortgage rates coming down. And when that happens, more buyers will enter the market. So We probably won't enter into a buyer's market. We'll probably go a little closer to 3 months of inventory. So we're still technically in a seller's market. But if you're a buyer out there, this just means you can take your time, you can shop around a little bit, you can negotiate with sellers. You can probably get some closing cost assistance. Certainly if you're looking at some good deals right now as a buyer, I would look at new construction. New construction builders are slashing prices. They are offering all kinds of different incentives, paying all of your closing costs, buying the rate down. So they're doing everything they can to have you choose them. There's some other advantages to new construction in that there's a home warranty already in place, usually a 1 year on everything and then a 10-year on structural. So that should give you some peace of mind. It also will give you lower insurance rates because you've got a brand new roof because it's a brand new house. And so it's definitely something to look at. If you have questions about specific new home communities or builders, please reach out to me. I work with all of them. I have good information on all of them. I get weekly updates on what their inventory looks like, what their incentives are, and so I really can help you navigate that and find the right community for you. If you're a home seller, I do think now is a good time to list. I think if you wait, you run the risk of running into a buyer's market where things might slow down and prices might drop. Like I said, I don't anticipate us going into a buyer's market, or if we do, it won't be for very long because I do think the Federal Reserve will lower rates and that will bring more buyers back. But if you don't want to wait till the end of the year to sell, now, I would do it now rather than waiting another month or two, because it's just, there's no way. If anyone tells you they absolutely know what's going to happen with the market, they're lying to you. They don't know. All we can do is look at the numbers and the trends and see what's happening around the world and in the country and try to figure out what we think is going to happen. And that's what I'm trying to do here for you in terms of what's happening here locally. The fact of the matter is Polk County is still one of the most popular places to move to, number one in the U.S. in terms of counties, according to the U.S. Census Bureau. There's a lot to like about Polk County in that we are halfway between Tampa and Orlando and much more affordable than those two areas. So there's still a lot going for the market here. And I think as mortgage rates kind of settle in a little bit and remain a little more constant, buyers will get used to whatever it is and they'll come back to the market. So I hope that you find this information helpful. Please watch my other videos on YouTube. I have market updates from several of the past years if you want to get a sense as to what's been happening with the market. But I also have a lot of tips and guides. I recently did some videos on home buying mistakes to avoid if you're a first-time home buyer. I did a 2-part series on that. So I hope you find that information helpful. As always, if I can help you or family or friend buy or sell in Central Florida or just advise you, please reach out to me. I'd love to have you. And have a good day. Thanks.